What's going on, fight fans? This is Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Rob Jarrell, and this is the preview for Thursday's boxing matchup on DAZN, featuring Demetrius Andrade taking on Luke Keeler out of Ireland, and then we have Tevin Farmer taking on Jojo Diaz for his IBF super featherweight title. And let's get it started. So we're going to start with the co-main event with Tevin Farmer taking on Jojo Diaz for that super featherweight title, the 130-pound title that Tevin Farmer currently has from the IBF. And this should be an interesting matchup. For Tevin Farmer, this will be his biggest and best opponent to date in Jojo Diaz, who only has one loss, and that loss coming against Gary Russell Jr. in his previous eliminator bout. And both the guys are southpaws. Tevin Farmer has a lot of opponents that have been southpaws, and to be honest, he doesn't have a real signature win. He's got a lot of names like Jono Carroll, Billy Dibb. I think might have been his best opponent to date. We have Guillaume Frenois, Francisco Faneka, and then he had a no contest versus Kenichi Ogawa, who had one loss, in which they originally gave the split decision to Ogawa, but he tested for a PED cocktail. Wild, right? So he's taking on Jojo Diaz, another southpaw, and again, his best opponent to date was Gary Russell Jr., which he lost a unanimous decision to, but he also beat a Victor Terrazas. Who else did he beat? I always have my trusty phone or my computer with me. But he beat Freddie Fonseca, Victor Terrazas, Rafael Rivera, who was undefeated, Manuel Avila, undefeated, Andrew Cancio, tough veteran, Jason Velez. So this is not his best opponent to date, and I thought at first that it may look a lot like his fight with Gary Russell Jr., but after rewatching that fight, it's not quite the same. Sure, they're both southpaws. They both have good speed, but Gary Russell is a very dynamic offensive fighter, straightforward, very little head movement, come forward, hands up, and let him rip. And usually he could overwhelm anyone not named, not Rigondeaux, but oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought now. Usually it's anyone not named Vasily Lomachenko. Oh my God, I'm sorry that I forgot that. I had a brain fart there for a second. But yeah, and with Tevin Farmer, he is a much different fighter. He doesn't have the offensive, dynamic offensive ability, the pure speed and athleticism as a Gary Russell Jr., but he is very polished. He's seen all his losses were very early in his career with, I think, another draw. And he fights out of Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he fights out of Philadelphia. And, you know, that school of boxing, the Philly School of Boxing, they teach a lot of great nuances to the game. How to roll with punches, movement. I mean, you know, you had the Philly shell, blocking with the shoulder and the hand. So it's a lot of little nuances that they teach, even repositioning your opponent with your body, and not just straight up trying to move them or trying to physically overpower them. And Tevin Farmer, who doesn't have a lot of power, usually relies on those skills, his speed, his experience, and really just touching someone up and then eventually wearing them down so he has the more judge-friendly punches while turning with punches and taking a lot of impact off of them. He did that with Jono Carroll very well. But the thing about this fight is I'm not sitting in the pocket if I'm Tevin Farmer with Jojo Diaz. If you watch that fight with Gary Russell Jr., Jojo Diaz is a very dynamic and explosive body puncher. If you watch the fight with Tevin Farmer and Jonah Carroll did a lot of really good body work. He just really didn't have the power, and he really couldn't cleanly catch Tevin Farmer the way he wanted to in the pocket. Farmer started out on the outside using the jab, touching to the body here, turning, boom, throw a small uppercut, boom. But because he doesn't have that power going against JoJo Diaz, who went against a guy with great pop, 12 rounds, against Gary Russell Jr., that's the last place I think he wants to be, because JoJo Diaz really throws a lot of good punches to the body, great placement, and a lot of thump on him. But the one thing he can't do with Farmer, I don't think he should have to chase him around the ring. He needs to cut the ring off and really set up those punches. I think he'll be able to throw a right hook, left to the body, come back upstairs, then come with another right hook. I think once he gets in that pocket, he will have the advantage. I think he should have the strength advantage and the power advantage on the inside. I would like to see him utilize a short right hook, coming with an uppercut, body, uppercut, back upstairs with a hook. Tevin Farmer, on the other hand, he's got to hit this guy from angles. Again, I don't want to wrestle a guy like JoJo Diaz on the inside. I don't want to have to go body shot for body shot with this guy. Because one, Tevin Farmer can hit hard to the body, but can he hit as hard and as explosive and judge-friendly punches to the body like Diaz can? No, he's going to have to really cut angles and really start to turn JoJo Diaz. JoJo Diaz is going to try to walk him down, walk him around the ring, make him work, hit him from an angle, slight pivot, come with the right hook, then come back with another hook to the body, bring it back upstairs. I think he'll be able to jab JoJo Diaz, try to keep those hands home, and he might be able to get that straight left, and then wait for the straight right of Diaz, come with an uppercut, boom, come straight down the middle with the left. This is going to be an interesting fight. I think Diaz is the favorite, and to be honest, I favor him. I think this could be a really good 12-round fight. I think JoJo Diaz has the ability to break down with those vicious body shots Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer has to fight this fight smart. He cannot get caught in a pissing contest with JoJo Diaz. He's got to be smart. He's got to use all those tricks and nuances to the game, or else he's going to be in for a 12-round beat. I think he's tough enough to go ahead and make it 12 and really make a good show and make it interesting, but he's had some fights that were really close that really had no business being close. So as of right now, I may change my mind by tomorrow, but by Thursday evening. But I'm taking JoJo Diaz by split decision or a very close unanimous decision. I'm not too confident on that because I know he hits hard, but I also know that Tevin Farmer has great skills. Let's move on to the Demetrius Andrade Luke Keeler fight. No one knew who the hell Luke Keeler is. His best win was against Luis Arias, who's not really a top 10 fighter, maybe top 15. Good veteran, got pretty much outclassed versus Danny Jacobs. And Demetrius, and this is just another name for Demetrius Andrade to be like, who the hell is this guy? You think you deserve money fights against the Charlos, the Canelos, the Jacobs, whoever, and you give us another name. Selecti, really good fighter, but he's not a name. Kalke has held the belt, has given people hell, not a name. Vanis Martirosyan, tough veteran, gave him hell, not a name. He's really going to have to put on a virtuoso performance in order to draw those big names to be a draw in the middleweight division. He has the height and reach advantage, speed advantage, and he's a southpaw going up against Keeler from Ireland. And to be honest, after watching him fight against Luis Arias, I would say that if Conor McGregor was an actual boxer, that would be his style with a little bit more speed. Luke Keeler is kind of hard to pin down because in that fight versus Luis Arias, he a lot of time could be the aggressor, come straight forward. Not a great jabber, but he likes to outwork his opponent. He can throw a lot of punches, and he puts a lot on them. Once he gets in the middle, he likes to throw an overhand right coming down with a left uppercut to the body or back over the top with the hook. If he's going backwards, he can fire that lead right off, then come back with a left hook. And you don't want to get in the pocket with him on the ropes. He's pretty decent for what I could tell, fighting off the ropes, going side to side and bringing all his punches over the top, and then slipping in a right uppercut. And for Andrade, he can't give up that advantage. He has the footwork advantage. He has the speed advantage. And he's going to be difficult to figure out being a southpaw. I would like to see him jab up the middle, because what I noticed from Keeler, one hand out here, one up top when he's getting ready to attack, or he may have his lead hand down and lead kind of feint, lead with the right. I think for Andrade, he, again, has to move to his right. He can throw the right hook over the top of Keeler's jab if he decides that he wants to jab. They come back, line him up with the straight left. Andrade should win this fight pretty handily, but this could look a lot like the Kalke fight, where Keeler, who is slippery, who has an awkward style, but really throws a lot of punches, really can outwork his opponents, can maybe catch him and hurt him early, and make this an ugly fight like the Kalke fight, an ugly fight like the Kalke fight. And then if he wins, it's just another notch on his undefeated record without a name and not bringing that box office. The good thing is he's under Matchroom, he's under DAZN, so they do a decent job of promoting their fighters. But Andrade is really going to have to show something to bring in one of those bigger names from Top Rank or PBC. Because Canelo's going to be wrapped up with Ryota Murata. Charlo's going to be looking for someone. Golovkin is fighting some Polish guy. I can't really think of the name. There's always the Derevchenko. So there's names there, but he's got to make a statement. He's got to put eyes on him. The best way to do it, knock this guy slam out, and immediately start going after one of the big names. That's all I got for you. Daniel Roman will be defending his belt, and the prospect, or I don't know if you can still consider him a prospect, he should be a contender really soon. Anthony Sims Jr., who's 20-0, is going to be featured on the undercard. And women's champ Amanda Serrano. She's a great fighter. You should definitely check her out. Hopefully they televise her fight, because she puts hands on girls. That's all I got for you today. Tell us what you think. Leave your comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, hit that bell icon so you get the latest from myself and Hakeem going forward. Share with your friends. Hit us up at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Capital Combat. And until next time, fight on.
This is round one and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming.